We are back, and we sound good. Our levels are good. All right, we're back to the podcast, which I still don't really know what to call, because I called it Brain Farts last time, but I'm not really sure if that's a good name. So I don't really know what I'm going to call it, but I'll come up with something. Maybe like mental, mental meander, or I don't know, brain yarns, brain dump, I don't know, something. But you know the premise. I've got a bunch of topics written down, and I'm just going to talk about them and my thoughts, basically. Just have a quick sip of this. Today's episode's brought to you by Epic Coffee, because that's what I'm drinking, and it is good. On today's list, the topics I have got are energy, self-motivation, friends, and confidence. Those are my 4 topics. I did 3 last time, but I'll bang through 4 today. So I guess we could call this like a kind of like a self-help episode, because it's all very much things that relate to that genre. But yeah, starting off, energy. This is one I've been thinking about lately, and like, especially how much your energy as a person can affect others or like help others. And that's one thing I notice a lot is so many people are like me, you know, naturally energetic and positive and, you know, stoked. But what you see is people hang around the wrong types of people. So they will hang around people who are the complete opposite. And as we know, especially here in New Zealand, there's a lot of negative and sort of not positive energy types, especially at the moment. Like, our whole society is based around the weirdest shit, you know, like the housing market, which drives the economy, which seems to affect how people operate, and like, I guess they're like spark for life because of interest rates and because of the cost of things. And it seems like it's just this big, like, it's this big, like, what's the word? Don't know. It's this big conglomerate machine almost. And there's a lot of negative energy out there at the moment. And if you're anything like me, who I'm stoked on life 90% of the time, 95% of the time, still have my shit days like everybody, but I cannot be around people with bad energy. The energy that I like to carry is one of, like I said, positivity and like uplifting others. And, you know, I'm stoked. I'm just happy to be here. I'm stoked. I try and bring the stoke and uplift other people. And that's, you'll see, that's kind of the circles I move in. I'm very selective with the people I put my energy into these days for that reason, because so many humans are just wired so backwards, in my view. They're so negative. Life's so hard. Like, man, you live in New Zealand. You were born in New Zealand. Even if it's not here, it could be in any country, but especially here. Like, dude, we have it so good. You don't even know how good you have it. I'll chuck you on a plane to a third world country, give you like a day or 2, and then bring you back. See what you reckon. And that's one of the biggest things that pisses me off. So many Kiwis haven't traveled. They haven't been to other places to experience how shit life can be. So their benchmark is so high of, like, you know, what's expected in life, and don't realize that, yes, you actually have it really good here. Like, there's no reason to be so sad and negative. Oh, the interest rates are up, so now my life sucks. Everything costs lots of money. Fucking make more money. Like, honestly, there's a solution to all of this shit. And that's the biggest thing about energy is, like I said, if you're a stoked human like myself, you will not surround yourself with negative, shitty thinking humans, because we don't think like that. We don't think in the gutter. You know, that type of person thinks positivity, you know, chasing goals, charging ahead. We don't get caught up with all that small shit and complaining about our lives. We just get to work and get it done. And like, that energy, the energy you carry can literally change your life, man. Like, you can, whether it's meeting the right people and you know, networking, and they go, oh man, that dude's pretty awesome. Like, he's stoked. Good to have him around. You know, that's the networking thing, or the proximity thing. And just, I think one thing I'm learning more as I get older is how much my energy, like I said, can rub off on other people, like younger crew, or just anybody that I sort of bring into my circle. And like, it's so easy to not enjoy life. It's so easy to, like, oh, what was me, all this bullshit, my life's so hard, but whatever. Like, it's easy to go down that path. I go down that path sometimes, but I snap out of it. And I go, actually, no. Fucking life's good, man, and I'm stoked on it. Like I said, 95% of the time. So I think when it comes to energy, those are kind of my thoughts, is what I'm learning over the years is how much your energy as a person can change your life and change other people's lives just because you are not, moping around, oh, my life's so hard, blah, blah, blah. Because that negative energy, it all comes back on you. The same thing you put out comes back. You put positivity out. Again, I've talked about this before. You put positivity out into the universe. Guess what comes back? Good shit comes back. You mope around and be all negative and whinge about everything and, everything's going wrong. My life's hard, this, that. What do you think keeps happening? The same shit keeps happening. And I harp on about the mindset stuff, but it is so important to change the way you think if you want to grow as a person and actually like succeed or achieve something. Because having that negative merry-go-round of thinking and bullshit coming your way and just shit events or whatever it might be, nothing's ever going to change. The sooner you change this thing up here and the way that you view the world and see the world, the sooner your actual life will change and good things will start happening. So when it comes to energy, being positive, being grateful, like gratitude is huge, man. Like you've got to be grateful every day just to be alive. Step out of bed in the morning. I know, like, and I get it, like you can get out of bed and go, okay, I got to go to work. But you got to do what you got to do. And like I say this to other people too, life comes in seasons. Everything's not forever. You don't have to do the shit job you hate forever that's dragging you down mentally. It's just a season. You've got to push through it, use it for what it is, the purpose that it is, which is swapping your time for money, make the money, on to the next season. What's going to come next? And that's what I mean. I get that, like, be grateful to get out of bed every morning. And I get some people's situations aren't that exciting when you get out of bed every morning, but there's zero reason to not be stoked on it. Because guess what? You could not get out of bed in the morning. So if you're living and you're actually enjoying this life, fucking take charge of it, man. Like use your energy to take charge of your existence instead of sitting, moping around, oh, this, that, life's so hard, like, all this bullshit. Instead of doing that, use that change of mind to actually change that situation. Use that mental breakthrough that you're going to have and change your mindset to actually change your life situation and put yourself in a better situation that you actually enjoy. That you do get out of bed every day and be stoked. I've done it. That's exactly what I've done. I've molded my life to how I want it. So I can do the shit that I want to do, not what someone else tells me to do. And anybody can do that. And a lot of it comes down to energy. That's enough on that topic. Quick coffee sip, and then we're on to the next one. Oh, it's good coffee, I'll tell you that much for free. All right, self-motivation. Another one I've been thinking about lately. And again, a lot of this is like observant. It's stuff that I observe in the world and how other people carry themselves. Like I've got my own way of doing things, but I'm very observant of what others are up to and how they sort of carry themselves and do stuff. And what I've noticed is there's a couple different types of people, and there's one particular type of person that is self-motivated, and those are the types of people that, like, for instance, like I am 100% one of them. Different, like, here's a little thing. So I have a little gym here at home, right? And I've been real slack lately at working out and lifting weights just because I've been sick and injuries and different things going on. And I'll get back to it. But I'm 100% self-motivated. My battle, like my sort of work ethic in my battle is against myself. That's where my self-motivation comes from, because I am always pushing myself to do stuff and to do better. But one thing I've noticed is there's that type of person like me who doesn't need like external, what's the word? I don't need an external motivator. And back to the gym thing, like, I lift weights however many times a week. I run. I do everything. I don't need an external motivator. Whereas my wife, when it comes to that stuff, she has to pay someone, or like pay a gym, or pay for something to get motivated to do it. It's just an interesting observation of like the two different types of motivation. She very much gets by on like external motivation. Like she likes to be told by people, if she's working for someone or whatever, that she's doing a good job. That's her motivation, where I don't have that. My whole basis of motivation is based around the battle against my own will, I suppose, myself. So when it comes to self-motivation, that's, I guess, something that can differentiate people. Like I said, there's people that thrive off that external motivation that they get from other people. And then there's the ones, again, like me, who I am fully self-motivated. And a lot of the time, people who are like entrepreneurs, or, it's like business people, whatever it might be, whatever the actual task might be, a lot of those people are self-motivated because they don't need that external push to achieve things. And these are all just things that you learn sort of about yourself and about the world as you get older. And that's just one interesting observation. I guess that's why I wrote it down there. Because I am realizing more and more that, yes, there's those two different types. And for me, the self-motivated type, to say to the other type that needs external motivation, oh, just do it, just like do this, do that. But they don't get it because they don't have that internal battle going on against themselves. And I guess that's it. Like, I'm only ever competing against myself. I don't give a fuck what anybody else is doing or where they're at. They're all on their own journey. But I'm in a constant battle against myself and my own, like, inner will. With the external motivation, people kind of, I guess they are in a way, but then obviously not as well, because they actually get more reward from external, like other people telling them they're doing good or whatever. That external motivation, I don't know, it's just an interesting thought. And that's the thing, we're all different, like, and that's what I mean. You can't go up to someone and say, oh, just do this, just do that, because we do all have our different motivations in life, depending on what we're trying to achieve and how we're wired. I mean, motivation, discipline, all kind of comes in together. The self-motivated people are probably a lot more disciplined in that, like I said, they're fighting an internal battle against themselves. So it's sort of like that's the motivator for them, is to always be better and strive, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. That's enough on self-motivation. I don't really know why I put that in there, but it is an interesting topic, because people do ask you when you do a lot of different things or whatever, oh, how do you get the motivation to do that stuff? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, I just do it. I don't really have to think about it. And it's all stuff that I want to be doing. Like I said earlier, like I'm not doing it for anybody else other than myself. Whereas some people can't see that. They go, why would you do that? Like, it might even just be something like this, or whatever it might be, something that doesn't even have like a monetary gain to it. And it's because I'm self-motivated. It's because I'm, like I said, battling myself to succeed at something. I don't give a shit about anybody else. But I guess that's the quick little difference between something I'm learning between like self-motivated individuals and people who don't have that inside them, that internal battle going on. But they do get a lot of gain from external motivation and other people recognizing what they're doing. But I am 100% a self-motivated person. Like I said, I do not need anybody's I don't need anybody's like approval or cheerleading or whatever. It's all me versus me type thing, which is a good thing, because it does keep you pushing. It keeps you going. It keeps you achieving, ticking off goals. All right, coffee sip. So the next topic I've got on here is friends. This is another random observation as well. Like I spend time on social media. I see a lot of stuff and like YouTube and different things. And one thing you learn about friendship as you get older is not only are you a lot more selective with who you be friends with. Like I've got so many acquaintances, like people that I would consider my acquaintances. Am I saying the word right? Acquaintance. Anyway, I know a lot of people, but I've literally only got, a handful of people that I would actually call my friends. And one thing you learn as you get older and you experience like life shit is you realize how many people are actually your friend. And there's a couple of things that can kind of like make that stand out. And I guess one of the big ones, like for me personally, was when some real life shit goes down. When some real life shit happens, life's all la-di-da, it's all good. And then some real life shit happens, like some real horrible traumatic shit. And for me personally, that was when my mum got murdered. That was some real life shit that snuck up on me like that. I was just living my life, cruising along, and that shit jumped out at me and fucking dragged me down. And moments like that are when you figure out who your friends are and who are the people that actually give a fuck about you. Because it's all good, the people, a lot of people, oh, I'm sorry that I lost that. Like, you get a lot of that. But the ones who actually give a fuck are the ones that, the phone rings and they're on the other end of it when you're deep in some shit. When you're deep in some real life shit, that's when you figure out who your real friends are and who actually cares about you. Because I experienced that firsthand during that time period. And, there was only a select few people that phone rang and they were on the other end. And they were there for me when I needed it, And there's not many of those. Like I said, I know a lot of people, a lot of acquaintances. You find out the hard way who actually gives a fuck when you're going through some shit. And that was a big learning curve. And naturally, as you get older, you thin the herd a bit. When you're young and in your 20s, all you care about is being cool and, having lots of friends and fucking whatever, You care about all the nonsense shit, basically. Once you get a bit older and you're, almost 40, in my case, even if once you're in your 30s and you have kids and stuff, you don't give a shit about any of that stuff. All you care about is your little family and what's going on there. So you naturally sort of thin the herd a bit and you distance yourself from the people that don't really offer much as a friendship to your life, as shitty as it is, but it's reality. And I suppose the other way to sort of like figure out your real friends is people that, I guess, root for you when you're trying to succeed or achieve something. Your real friends want to see you succeed. They want to see you win. They want to see you achieve your goals, and tick off the things that you're trying to tick off on your goals list. And they're fuck yeah, like they're stoked for you. The ones who are sort of on the cusp of actually being real friends, they tend to go the opposite direction, especially if their lives don't mirror that. Like if they're not trying to achieve anything and strive for success or for something, they'll usually, they'll be the quiet haters, you know what I mean? And that's all good. Like everybody's got a role. Haters gonna hate. But your true friends, your real true friends, they want to see you win. They want to see you succeed. And if you have people in your circle that you can tell secretly aren't aren't rooting for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve. They're those fringe friends, that maybe maybe need to weed out as time goes on, because we all find our circle. Like I said earlier about energy, you find the people that you relate to more, and again, like I said, you prioritize those friendships more as you get older, because you grow apart, like friends grow apart, and you make a lot over the years, a lot of different friends, and some of them stick around. You might know someone forever, and you might grow apart and go different directions, and then you might meet a person once or twice, and you stay connected with them forever, and that's that energy I spoke about. That's the gelling of energy, because you're both on the same wavelength. It happens with positive thinking people and positive energy people connecting, and it also happens with the negative, woe is me, bloody sad crowd. They latch onto each other, and they are in their own little echo chamber of shittiness, the same way that the positive people are doing it on the positive side. So and that's how friends come about, is you gel, you connect on something, and you go, shit, that person thinks like me. I'm going to hang around with them more. I'm going to keep them around. They're awesome. And that's just something you're more and more aware of as you get older, I suppose. Just through life and living and life experience, you learn to, not deal with the bullshit friends as much anymore. You sort of distance yourself from them as much as you can, because we're all on our own path at the end of the day. And if someone's not on that path with you, then sadly you've just got to cut ties and find your crowd, find your group of humans, because they're out there no matter what your vibe is. So when it comes to friends, you pick your friends wisely. Having the right friends can set you up for a lot of success or a lot of failure, depending on which circle of friends you're choosing. I'm dealing with this with 8-year-old now, where she, explaining that to her, like as you get older into your teenage years, having the wrong or right friends can change your life and send you down either direction. So you've really got to have a good moral compass about you, and how to choose the people that you put your energy into, and the ones that accept you for who you are. And that's, you see it with kids, and it's a whole thing that they've got to learn and go through. And the same thing applies as an adult. You just get better at it over time, I suppose. So pick your friends wisely, because they can make or break you pretty easy. And like I said, energy, good friends connect through similar energy, hopefully positive, good vibes, What's the word? Ambition, all the good shit. Those are the friends you want to have. All right. Last one. I'm going to try to keep these quite short, so it's like under half an hour. Just because I like to just bang them out, get them done. And the more I do, the more topics I can cover, and sort of just dump out what's in my brain. So the last one on the list is confidence. I was actually having a conversation with someone the other day about this, and it's quite a hot one, because one thing I've found, especially here in New Zealand and somewhat in Australia, with our whole tall poppy society, and I suppose it's probably in England too, because that's kind of where we all come from, and that's kind of where that shit comes from. I find a lot of people confuse confidence with cockiness. And if there's one thing that like the tall poppy types don't like, it's cockiness, which is fair enough. Like no one's super stoked on a cocky dickhead, but I definitely feel like those two get confused a lot, confidence and cockiness, because there's a huge difference. Like, I mean, we've all seen like fake confidence. Like whether it's like some bloody 20-year-old, some young teenager who hasn't done shit in their life and they're super confident and they're like, I can do this, whatever it might be, there's a million different ways that they could present that. But for me, I think confidence is built like anything in life. It comes from life experience, and you actually do build it over time. It's hard to be confident when you're young. You can be, but you haven't really done anything. You haven't achieved much. You haven't achieved goals. You haven't succeeded in anything. So you haven't really got that self-confidence to actually project confidence onto the world. And that's where I say that fake confidence that you do see in a lot of younger crew, and people just sort of whatever, they just brushed it off because they can tell that it's bullshit. But then on the other end of the spectrum, I don't know if that's the right word, on the other end of the scale, you've got someone with a bit of life experience behind them who's confident, and they're confident because they know what they're capable of, and they know that they've achieved something, they've done some shit, they've built that confidence within them, because that's the growth journey. Life is a journey. You grow from a dumb teenager who thinks they're confident into, a 30, 40-year-old who goes, actually, yeah, I do have this in me, and I can achieve these things. And that's where that confidence slowly builds. And then you get to a cusp point where you feel comfortable projecting that confidence out into the world instead of just having it internally. And that's the part that a lot of, especially in New Zealand, a lot of people, because of the whole tall poppy way of thinking, confuse with cockiness. I've had people say to me, you say, not say to my face, but, obviously all the shit I deal with online, the messages and stuff, get bombarded with, where people think I'm cocky, and I'm like, well, I'm not cocky, I'm confident, because I know what I'm capable of, and I know I can achieve these things. Anybody who's done some shit, how do you think a businessman takes a business to a huge level, a huge successful level? They've got to have some confidence. You can't achieve a lot of things without having some confidence. And that's part of what I try and project is an authentic confidence. I've realized I can help other people sort of find their confidence to go, okay, yeah, maybe I am capable of this. And a lot of that can come through what we talked about earlier, through energy, passing the energy on and getting them motivated and getting them a bit of confidence. It might take them a long time before they can project it out to the world. But like I said, anybody who's achieved something and done something and actually made some shit happen is going to have some level of confidence, because without it, you're just not going to get anywhere. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be confident in your abilities and what you can achieve. Because like I said, if you're the opposite and you don't have it at all, you're not going to achieve shit. You're just going to stay in the same spot. So as much as people do confuse a confident person with a cocky person, and a lot of that does come down to, like I said, the tall poppy shit we have here, where, everyone wants everyone to be mediocre, and they think you're a dickhead if you're trying to succeed, which in places like the US is completely different. They celebrate success, and there's a reason that their country is the way it is, and it's because they have the opposite mentality to the tall poppy syndrome. The sky's the limit for them, and they like I said, they celebrate it. They celebrate people smashing it and succeeding, whether it be financially or mentally or, in any form of it. Whereas we kind of have the opposite. So that confidence can come across as just, people, oh, what, who's this guy? Just a cocky dickhead. Oh, no. He's probably just confident in what he can achieve and believes in himself. Like I said, anybody who's built a business or built anything, does content, does social media, does photography. I had to have the confidence in myself to become a photographer. That was a hurdle I had to get over, and that's probably part of why I'm confident in everything I do now, because I set a goal and I said, I'm going to do this. And it took a lot of hard work, and a lot of time and effort, and I did it and I achieved it. And that would have built my confidence to go, shit, I can do this. I am capable. And again, like I said, growing up here is you get that tall poppy shit pushed on you. You see it in society, which makes you think the opposite. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't achieve that. That's for them. That's for the other people. That's not for me. I'm just over here. I got no confidence in myself. I can't do anything. I can't achieve that. It's only those other people that can achieve that. But what they don't realize is those other people were in that exact same situation once. But they took charge. They used all the things that I just talked about. Energy, self-motivation, friends, I guess, networking, and confidence to push for something and achieve it, which then helped build that internal confidence to go, shit, I am capable of the shit that those others that I thought weren't me are doing. I can do that. And that's where confidence plays a huge role. You have to be confident in some way in yourself and your abilities. Because if you let that tall poppy shit overcome you and, take over your way of thinking, so you do think like that, oh, that's them, they can do that, I can't. I'm just this fucking piece of shit human over here, I can't achieve anything. Well, no, you can. You just haven't started jumping the hurdles on the journey to build little bits of confidence as you go. Each hurdle, more confident, more confident, more confident. Shit, I'm up here now, and actually I have achieved all this shit, and now I can move on to the next goal, and I'm going to achieve that. And guess what? Now that I've achieved all this shit, I'm going to help other people jump those hurdles and come up behind me so they can achieve some shit. And then that ripple effect can keep going. And they can get the next person to come jump the confidence hurdles, and we can all build it together. And next minute you look back and that ripple effect has gone out however many people, and you've changed lives and you've done some shit. And that's why you're confident. Because you've done it. You're an action taker. You've taken action. This is part of, as just a general chat, part of society here that fucks me off so much. It's like there's this small percentage of people in this country that have done some shit, that have taken action and gone, no, actually, I don't want to be part of this fucking Facebook group of whinging bloody people that have just followed the same rule book their whole lives and get all depressed when the interest rates are up and if you live in New Zealand, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Fuck all that shit. Brings you no benefit being a part of that. The sooner you escape that way of thinking and, like I said, start to take action and start to achieve some shit, even if it's small, might be the tiniest little thing. Everything you achieve builds confidence step by step. And then you go, actually, I am capable of so much more. And a lot of people get to that point and they feel like they've been muted their whole life. That's not the word. Suppressed, I guess, their whole life. Because that old way of thinking was hardwired into them as kids. And they have to do the work to get through that, to get to a point where actually, no, I can be the other people that I was talking about. I can do some shit. I can achieve some shit. I can grow. I can build. I can help other people. And all of it comes from up here. This brain. I guess that's why I call this brain farts, because it all just comes out of here. I'll probably change to something else, I don't know, brain yarns. I don't even know. Like I said, what did I say before? The mental meander. Something like that. And it's my thoughts and my way of thinking on these random topics that I have written down. And I write these down 2 seconds before I do this. It's not planned out at all. But when it comes to confidence, to wrap up, you've got to have some self-confidence if you want to do some shit. Stop letting the world hammer you down and belittle you like you're not those others, like you're not the people that achieve things. You're more than just a slave to a job or a society's structure, which so many people get sucked into. Again, if that's what you want to do and you're happy doing that, go for your life. But if you have that feeling inside you like you're destined for more, than just having some shitty job and paying some huge mortgage. And I'm only using these as references because it's such a common part of the system here in New Zealand and Australia and wherever else. You've had this whole previous generation who have built their whole life around having one singular fucking job to pay off this box of sticks that they've got, and then now they're all they're all pensioners, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's it. Fuck that. Like, if you want to live that way of life, go hard, but it ain't for me. If you have that burning desire in you, like I do, like I've always had, knowing that like there's more to this shit than that, then take action. Build some confidence. Do some shit. Tick some lists off. Because imagine if you don't fucking wake up tomorrow. Stop putting that list off. Oh, I'll do that one day. What? When you pay off your box of sticks and then sell it, you finally got some fucking money. Like, it's all a facade, man. Like, don't get to the end of your life and regret it. Don't get to the end of your life and go, I wish I had done all this shit. Because there is a whole generation of boomers before us that are in that predicament. They're getting to the end of their life and they're going, I didn't do shit that I wanted to. Get out there and travel. Go see the world, especially if you're young. Don't worry about all the normal life shit until you're at least in your 30s and having kids or whatever it is. There's a reason these sections of life are generally set up that way, you know. The younger years, they're for exploring. Get out there and explore. Gain some perspective. Gain some knowledge about the world and this fucking rock that we're flying through space on. There's so much more to life than a stupid job and a stupid box of sticks that you've got to pay off for fucking 30 years. The whole thing's a big trap. I'm not anti-property and all that shit. There's a lot of money to be made there, you know, all the usual shit. I'm not anti-anything. I just see things for what they are. And I hate to see other people waste their potential because they ain't doing shit. You know, like, don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks. I wouldn't be sitting here doing this if I gave a fuck what anybody thought. You know, I've been there and done that. Many people have given a fuck about what I do and give me their opinion. Guess what? I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm doing what I want to do. End of story. No one can tell me otherwise. It's the great thing about adulthood. You can just do shit. You just do whatever you want. Change your path. Fucking change your life. Go down the path you want to go down. Do the shit you want to do. There's no one stopping you other than yourself. Self-motivated. These things we talked about. Good energy. Be self-motivated. Surround yourself with the right people and the right friends. And have some confidence. Go and achieve some shit so you can build that confidence. So you can sit here like me and tell another person, hey, do this shit. Your life will be better. I know, I get fired up. I get a bit fired up. It just frustrates me to see, like I said, so much wasted potential out there. Because I've always felt the same. I'm always like, I've got to do more shit. Like, I want to live life on my terms. I don't want to get trapped into this fucking societal system. I want to be living life how I want to live it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. You can do it too. Where are we at? All right, 40 minutes. That'll do. So there you go. Here's my topics for today. What did I say they were? Oh, sorry, I can't even remember now. I literally just said it, but that's just my brain. So we got energy. We covered that. Good, positive energy. Rewire your thinking. Rewire your brain, the way you think. If you're stuck in that negative cycle, there's ways to fix it. Find the way. There is a way. Everybody's got a different way, but you'll find your way if you really want it. Self-motivation. Be self-motivated. You don't need external validation for anything. It's all in here. You know, be like me. You're in a battle against yourself. Always pushing yourself. The person you're fighting against and battling against is you. It's like your other you, you know. Sounds like I'm like schizophrenic when I say that. Again, networking, friends. Find your network of friends who are like-minded. Think like you. Not so much if it's negative. If you want to change to switch it to the positive group of people in your life. Hang around the people who uplift you and like you for you, and love you for who you are as a person. Don't change who you are to fit in with some group of bloody numpties who don't actually give a shit about you. Find the people that love you for you and keep them around, and you'll all grow together. Push each other, help each other succeed, motivate each other. It's a group thing, like I got so many friends who all do the same thing as me for a living. I don't compete with them. I give them work. I uplift them. I do everything I can to try and make them succeed, help them succeed. Helping others succeed it'll never affect your success. You'll all grow together. It's a collective of growth. So find the right people and keep them in your life. And then obviously the confidence one as well. Do some shit so you can get some confidence. Get out there and live. Get out there and achieve some goals so that confidence will build in you, and then you can project it. Help other people find their confidence. All right, I'm just ranting now. I'm going to finish my coffee. Thanks for listening. Again, I don't know what this is called, or maybe I'll put a poll or something in the below that sort of has a few different names and you guys can pick. Brain farts was just a random thing I came up with. Kind of makes sense because it's just like a bleh, it's like a bleh out of my brain, but I don't know if I want to keep calling it that. Just sounds a bit weird. I might. I don't know. You tell me. I'll put a poll below and you tell me if you think I should keep it that. But yeah, if not, take all this shit I just talked about and get out there and do it if you need it. Because you can. You're powerful. I believe in you. Anybody listening to this, you've got this. Reach out to me. I'll give you some motivation. It's all it takes. Just ask. I'm here. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'm going to enjoy this coffee and move on to the next recording. Peace out, guys. Don't work too hard, or do, depending on what your motivation is. See ya.